Bullying has been around as long as many of us can remember, but with social media, it's increasingly getting more and more difficult for some to handle it. What you can do and what you should do to help your children not be a victim.
Push and pull, the history behind the Delmarva tugboat and why they serve a more important role than you may think.
Lots of big events are happening this weekend, and we've got a preview for you.
And CBS's The Mentalist premiered last night on a noon night. Today, we take a look at what you can expect between Patrick Jane and Teresa Lisbon this season. Delmarva Life starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Life from historic Studio D.
And we'd also like to welcome our studio audience this afternoon.
Glad you guys joined us.
And
awesome having you here.
I want to start off the show by saying, how about them O's?
Woohoo! Man, Ryan Marshall this morning said, somebody pinch me.
I think a lot of people are saying that.
Man, oh man, oh man. 3 games left. The O's are tied with the Yankees. By beating the Red Sox yesterday, they have clinched the home field advantage just in case there's a 1-game tiebreaker in the AL East. Now, had the Texas Rangers beat the Angels last night, which they didn't, the O's would have been in the playoffs for sure. Right. Apparently, after this game, they had already prepared the locker room for the champagne celebrations. And nobody went there because they were all standing on the field watching the scoreboard to see how the Rangers-Angels game turned out.
Oh, how about that?
So that was, yeah.
And from what I understand, it's the first time the O's have gone to the playoffs since 1997. 15 years.
People are happy.
Yes, very happy.
And waiting for the other shoe to drop sometimes, I think. Great race weekend in Dover.
Yeah.
Wow, was that an incredible thing. Brad Keselowski pulled his ride into the winner's circle for his 2nd victory in 3 races. Good stuff for him. This is the first race he ever won at the Monster Mile. He now has a 5-point lead over Jimmy Johnson in the overall standings. You remember, last week we had C.J. Faison on here.
Yes.
And he came in, he went the entire race on Friday, all 154 laps, came in 7th place, got 37 points in that race. So good job, C.J.
Well done, C.J. There's a great event going on next weekend that I want to make everyone aware of. Organizers of the annual Delaware Veterans Stand Down event are trying to help estimated 700 homeless veterans in the state become familiar with the housing, social services, and other benefits that are available to them. So they're having an event this weekend. It's called Delaware's 2012 Veterans Stand Down. It happens 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, October 3rd at the American Legion Post 2 in Dover. October 5th. I'm sorry about that. I said the wrong day. It's Friday, October 5th. Okay. It's going to be at the American Legion Post 2 in Dover. If you want some more information, there's a number on your screen, 302-349-4898. Now, I want to back up a little bit. An estimated 700 homeless veterans.
How does that happen?
How does that happen? That is not supposed to happen. Unbelievable, and it's a problem across the country.
Yeah. So if you know one, please find out more information and be sure to take them.
Yeah.
It's important information for you. Well, it's that time of year for the blessing of the animals.
Yes, it is.
If you haven't already, here's a good chance for you. The blessing coincides with the feast of St. Francis of Assisi, calling to mind mankind's connection with all living creatures and God's great blessing on all the earthly beings.
So, yeah, we know of two
locations.
2 locations.
Here they are. All Saints Church in Rehoboth Beach. It's going to be Thursday during the 4:30 service in the afternoon. And the other one's at Epworth United Methodist. That's going to be Saturday the 6th at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So be sure to stop by for that.
Very neat. Another event next weekend in Pocomoke, the Downtown Pocomoke Annual Fall Festival is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. These are just pictures of some of the great things that you can do with your family, kids, crafts, and activities. They have a puppy parade and pageant. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yard sale, food and drink, sidewalk chalk. Events, and look at this, painting the horse.
Painting the horse.
That looks like fun.
The painting of the horse.
So that is, like I said, October 6th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. downtown Pocomoke.
And you know, the meteorologists are talking about how warm it's going to be in the middle part of this week and then how the temperature is really going to start dropping off.
Oh.
So this would be a great time to get out before you have to get the heavy jacket. You and I were talking about this this morning, and it was funny because we weren't talking to each other about it. We were talking to other people about Edwards in Ocean City, right there on Division, after more than 75 years. They're closing.
Yeah. Once was a 5 and dime store. Everyone knows what that is, right?
Everybody knows what that is, right? Yo, you guys know what a 5 and dime is, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't know what it is, obviously you're too young.
Well, what they're doing is they're actually going to renovate the building and expand the neighboring Quiet Storm surf shop. So I guess they see a better future.
I read a fascinating article in this morning's Daily Times about how they remodeled the store in the late 80s from what you saw there, which was
that was an old picture.
That was an old picture. And they remodeled it 3 stories, 38,000 square feet, I think is what it was. And then after a while, it looked beautiful. They just thought this type of business plan could go forward the way it was, and it just didn't work out that way in this economy. So what they did was, I think Quiet Storm moved into half of it, and then as Edwards begins to fade, and what they're doing is just remodeling everything for Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
So it's a sad thing to see go.
It is sad, and they're planning, nothing's set in stone, but they hope to have a going away ceremony or some kind of celebration to say goodbye to Edwards.
Oh, wow.
And everything that it stood for a lot of people.
Yeah. Tremendous history there. It is October 1st, in case you didn't already know it, and if you are a Maryland resident, there are new laws in effect that you need to pay attention to. One of those, well, we've talked about all of these, I think, at one point. A broken traffic light. Now, when we say broken, it could be anything from a power outage to all the lights are dark. Maybe it's flashing because something is wrong. Pay close attention here. When you come up to that intersection, that means you've got to treat it like a flashing red light.
Right.
Even if you've got a flashing yellow light, you've got to treat it like a flashing red light.
Right.
Okay, so be smart when you go up there. Also, you got to yield to pedestrians. I didn't even think about that. So watch out for that. Also, kids in car seats until 8 years old, or they're 4'9", that whole weight exemption thing, that's out. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Mopeds and scooters, if you have one, you've got to title it, you got to insure it, you got to have a helmet and some kind of eye protection.
Yeah.
So
starting today.
The word is maybe the trooper will be nice to you. Wouldn't count on it if I were you.
Yeah,
So,
better safe than sorry.
yeah, you've known about this, so
yeah.
it's underway.
You've seen the movie Titanic.
I have.
You've seen the show Mythbusters.
I have.
So the
many
two,
times.
Yeah, many times. So the two are coming together.
Really?
Okay. At the end of the movie Titanic, do you remember when after the ship had sunk and Rose and help me out here, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack, thank you. I had a total brain fade. Are out in the water and everything, and they find this like door or something, this big piece of wood, and Rose gets up on it, and Jack tries to get up on it, but for some reason he just can't. It keeps tipping or whatever, so he ends up holding on to the side of it, and eventually, spoiler alert, dies, freezes to death.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, apparently a lot of people after seeing that movie said, why didn't, he could have gotten on top of that thing. They could have worked it out. They could have,
They're saying there was enough room?
There was enough room, or,
And they're saying it would have held them both.
Yeah, it could have held them both. So Mythbusters is going to see if that, in fact, is true. And take a look at this picture. This is, I guess, from the episode.
Oh, wow.
But these are the different ways that it could have worked. Perhaps.
Side by side, one on top of the other. Okay, all right, well, I can see that. But they're saying that maybe that door was actually buoyant enough to hold them both?
To hold both of them, yeah, if they did it right.
Well, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Kind of ruins the movie, but yeah, it's interesting. One of those geek
What
moments.
if they proved that they could have?
Well, if you like romance movies, just disregard that
Disregard that one right there.
That'd be interesting. Can't wait to see that one. Have you ever heard, I never have you ever heard of a businessman saying, you know what, our product stinks, buy our competitors?
No.
It actually happened. On Friday, Apple Incorporated Chief Executive Tim Cook actually apologized to consumers for their Map app. So many people are unhappy with the glaring errors. I don't think it's ever been done before that anybody has said, we're working on it. It's no good right now. He's suggesting everybody use Google Maps.
Oh, really?
So, and did you say that you
Yeah, we were just, Zach and I, one of our camera operators, were out on a story just the other day, and the Apple Maps sent us to a dead-end road. It was like, make a right on, Creamery Street or something, and then make a left on some other street. We were at a dead end. In fact, I think there was like a creek or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If
you
we would have
didn't take
followed
the creek, right? No, okay, he didn't take the creek. Just making sure here.
I know, we made it back
How
eventually.
about that?
Yeah.
I haven't used it since the update, so I don't even know what the problem is with it. Is it just inaccurate, or does it just look stupid, or?
I don't know. I guess it's inaccurate because,
Wow.
you know, obviously it didn't get us where we wanted to go.
You remember that thing that you used to have to
The paper thing?
And put it in the
what
glove
did they
compartment?
call those things?
Maps.
Maps.
That's what it was.
Oh, and I got a real quick story to tell you. You know how you used to get them for free at the rest stops?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No.
In Ohio, they make you pay for it. My son found that out the hard
Really?
way. And my husband, I swear, he was so mad about that.
That he had to pay for a map?
That he wasn't going to pay for it, but he's like, what is the world coming to? You have to pay for a map
No way.
in Ohio.
I'll use
Still
my
free in Maryland.
Apple map that'll send me right to the creek. Hey,
Without a paddle.
We had something big happen on Friday.
Yes, we did. Take a look at this. There's the happy couple.
There they are.
Congratulations, Brian Spiros and Sarah. I guess Sarah Spiros.
Sarah Spiros.
Yeah, they wed on Friday evening. There they are.
Look
Oh,
at
they're
those.
so adorable. I cannot wait to hear about it. But they are honeymooning right now, so we probably won't hear about it for a little while.
And we've seen a few pictures from the ceremony. It was absolutely beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And we understand that during his speech, Brian was Brian.
Yeah.
And if you know Brian, well, you know what that could possibly mean. But it was
Yeah.
congratulations to you both. Many wonderful wishes for many wonderful years.
Mm-hmm.
Still to come on Delmarva Live, October is Bully Prevention Month, and we're going to give you tips on how you can keep your kids from being a target, whether it's school or online.
Plus, tips from other parents on how to talk to your kids about bullying. Delmarva Life at its best here on Delmarva.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. And your local York and Mitsubishi dealers.